So, interesting combination being a musician as well as a winemaker. What brought you to making wine? How did you start out doing this?
My first interest in fermentation science was in high school, where I had a friend of mine whose dad was from Czechoslovakia, and he made his own beer. Now, at the time, it was still illegal. Home beer making was not signed into law until, I think, 1978 by Jimmy Carter. When they repealed Prohibition, they left out two words in allowing home winemaking. They left out "and beer." And so it was technically illegal all that time. But one of his chores at home was to help make the old man's beer for him. So I'd go over and help him make the beer. And it was wretched. It was terrible, but it got the job done. And I always thought, we got to be able to do better than this. So I had an interest in it. And in 1999, I found myself in a situation where I had an opportunity to start dabbling in home beer and winemaking. Wanted to make wine. Figured if I could just make something as good as Carlo Rossi Jug, I'd be happy. So apparently I'm ecstatic at this point. But I started with beer because it's a much faster turnaround on the fermentation, 30 days or so,
sure,
versus a couple of years.
Yeah. And
so you get much better cause and effect relationship that way. So within a year, they saw I was kind of passionate about what I was doing, and at the beer and winemaking supply store where I got my stuff from, and asked if I'd like to work there part-time, keep the shop open Monday evening, in addition to my regular job. So I started doing that, and then a little thing called 9/11 came along. The economy tanked, and I got to be the guy that was laid off of my regular job, and 10 minutes later I was full-time at the store.
Oh, geez.
And so I wound up working there with 1,500 clients, making beers and wines and sake and little distillation and that kind of thing. And wound up working there 8 years, managed the shop the last 3 years I was there. And during that last year, I opened the winery a half a block away and ran back and forth for a year. And then in 2011, we opened up this location here. This is just a rental. Wish I owned it, but I don't. But it's a much nicer location. The other place was at a little industrial cubicle with a two-story gray brick wall to look at, a bunch of broken-down cars and trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Two car shops next to me, a general contractor, electrical contractor, the welder with all his fumes coming over to the winery.
Yikes.
Dog on a chain right by my door. Fist fights in the parking lot for entertainment, right
Nice.
across the street from the meatpacking plant. All the ambience that says fine wine sold here. So this is much better. We're right across the street from the country club on the main highway with a view like that.
Yeah.
I think this works a little better.